Hello friends. So in this video, we'll be looking into like how to get job into this IT sector. Like what are the various options, various ways using which you can get into the IT companies and MNCs. This again might be helpful for those guys who are like pursuing their engineering or wants to pursue their engineering, like BTechs, BEs, or MTechs or MS, especially from India, or and also like for those guys, for those graduates who are doing BBAs or BCA, MCAs, etc. So just stay tuned with me by the end of this course, this video, to know more about what are the various options. Along with that, some brief overview of this IT sector as well, so which will provide you some more better insights about it. So you might have read about it in newspapers, watched on news channels, TV, print media. You have heard everywhere about this IT sector, computers, etc. So some of you might be knowing it by software, some by technology field. So I'll give you a quick background of it, overview of it, what exactly IT space is. So IT is software and knowledge-based industry, which means utilization of hardware, services, infrastructure to create, store, and exchange information to accomplish business objectives. In simple words, it is nothing but implementation of technology for the benefit of businesses. For example, let's say you have a business, you have a medical store, and everything you are doing manual. Now you want to make it to digital, you want to digitize it. So for that purpose, you need a software wherein which you can make entry of all the purchases, of all the sales, profits, etc. So this is nothing but information technology only, that either you yourself will be creating a software or you will be reaching out to a vendor who will be creating a software on behalf of you so that you will avail the service. So this is what all the information technology companies are doing across the globe. So now IT sector, it has a remarkable potential for accelerating economic growth of any nation. It has the potential to improve the productivity of almost all sectors of economic development. Information technology has made our governance efficient. So basically, it has two divisions. One is the business process outsourcing, which is called the BPO industry. Other one is the IT service industry. So you might already be knowing in India, Gurgaon is the hub of BPO industry. So contribution of India's GDP has increased from 1.2% in 98 to almost 7.9% in 2017. So just imagine. So like when in early 90s, it was like 1%, 1.2%. The devotion, or I would say the contribution of the software field into the India's GDP, which is gross domestic product. Now it has increased to almost 8% in 2017. So now we are in 2021. So this contribution has increased more. The total revenue, if I talk about in terms of US dollars, is around 250 billion US dollars. Just imagine the kind of progress it has made. So it has touched each and everyone's life. So there are almost 4 million direct Indian workforce that is being currently employed in the IT sector. 4 million is almost like 40 lakhs. So you can say 40 lakhs direct engineers, or some BBAs or MCAs or MBAs are there, in which are employed by this IT sector. And there will be 10 times more indirect jobs that this IT sector is producing. So just imagine the sheer volume of it. So IT has helped in boosting economy of many Indian states. Karnataka, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Delhi NCR. If I talk about some of the major IT hubs in India, so basically it's Bengaluru, which is known as the Silicon Valley of India. So everyone across the globe knows about Bengaluru. So just like you have Silicon Valley in US, similarly we have this in India called Bengaluru. And then apart from Bengaluru, we have Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, Delhi NCR, Kolkata. So if you want to get job in IT sector, so basically these are the main cities in India where all the majority of the MNCs and IT sector related companies are hosted or situated. So IT is the fourth biggest employer in India. Some of the major IT companies of India are TCS, which is Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, by Narayan Murthy, it was started. Then we have Wipro, you all might be knowing Azim Premji, who started it. Then HCL of Shiv Nadar, Tech Mahindra, Hexaware. So these are some of the big players from Indian side. And there are many more. If I talk about foreign IT companies, you all might have heard about IBM, Accenture, Oracle, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, etc. There are many more. So, I mean, the list is endless. So, IT overall creates lakhs of jobs in India every year. Most of the fresh engineering graduates, they get hired into IT field. No matter you are into computer science field, information technology, electronics and communication, if you have done your engineering from mechanical or chemical or any branch, you just name it. So most of them, are get hired by these IT companies, be it like BTechs or MTechs also. So yeah, I mean there are organizations for these respective fields. However, the major chunk goes or is being taken away by the IT fields because they have so many number of jobs and number of openings they have. For many, it's a dream job. It has helped many Indian families to enter from low income groups to medium income groups or high income groups, I would say. And in fact, I mean, majority of the engineering colleges in India are running because you have, these IT industries, IT companies coming for placements within these engineering colleges. Else, if someone is from electrical branch or mechanical branch, so just forget about the premium colleges, IITs and ITs. But for the remaining ones, so I mean, the companies are less, the hiring is less, so everyone sees or looks towards the silver lining of these IT sector. Just to give you some numbers, so in India there are approximately 15 lakhs engineering pass outs every year, out of which around 50 to 60,000 gets job into this IT sector. Similarly, there are lakhs of BCAs, MCAs, MTechs every year, out of which again additional 1 to 2% gets into this IT field. I mean, from anywhere across India, be it like Punjab, Delhi, to southern states, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, or the western side, Maharashtra, Gujarat, or towards the eastern side, which is like Odisha, West Bengal. Wherever you will see engineering colleges, so everywhere people are get hired into these IT companies. Just to give you some number of employees that these companies have. So, like for TCS, they have around 4 lakh employees. Infosys, it employs almost 2.5 lakhs. Wipro is having a strength of almost 1.97 lakhs. HCL is again somewhat like 1.68 lakhs. Tech Mahindra is 1.25 lakhs. So just imagine, since these are employing around 40 lakhs of engineers only in India. So I'm not talking about outside India. This is only for India only, I'm telling. And similarly for Accenture, it has a total strength of 5.37 lakhs, out of which 1.5 are employed within India itself. Similarly for IBM, they have a strength of 4.3 lakhs globe across, out of which 1.4 is employed within India. So India is seen as a cheap outsourcing and destination for most of the organizations or MNCs. No doubt, we have the biggest pool of engineers in the world. They are much more technically sound, also much more capable. Also, I mean, there are other options for these MNCs, which is like Philippines, Vietnam. But however, I mean, India is considered at the top, not only because of its huge strength of engineers, but also of their skill set, of their upskilling approach, and everyone knows English. So this is the USP, or I would say the plus factor of Indian IT engineers. So if you also want to, be a part or get into this IT sector, so it's a good opportunity. I mean, I understand like after 12th, each one of us are having doubts or questions like what next? What should I be doing? So some of you goes towards this engineering side, some of you goes towards this BBA or MCA side. Some of you prepare for SSCs, government jobs. Even though if you're going into various fields, so there isn't any limit or any age restriction or any prerequisite if you want to join IT industry at any time. Even if you are 50 years of age and if you know good coding, you have good coding skills, you are most welcome into this IT field. So couple of options I was talking about. Let's talk about for the engineering graduates, like who have done BTech or BE or have done you say MCA or BB or MBAs. So for them, campus placement is a very, very good option. So if there are organizations, MNCs coming within your college for campus placements by the end of your third year or fourth year, and if you are getting placed or selected within these MNCs, Wipro, TCS, HCL, so these are known as the mass recruiters in India. Apart from that, yes, Accenture and IBM as well, and there are many more, Cognizant. So it's a good option. But I mean, as I already mentioned, so not everyone is placed within these MNCs using campus placements. So for that, there are various other options. So like there are certain national level entrance exams like fresherworlds.com, elitmus.com. So they judge you based on the aptitude and reasoning and basic IT skills, or I would say coding skills, and then based on your marks or percentage, so you get option to apply for these MNCs. So they do conduct their offline interviews. Another option is like you can go to websites of these IT MNCs, or if you know someone via referral you can apply. Let's say if you have a friend or some relative or anyone who is working on in any of these organizations. So you can ask them, just send your resume to them. You can ask them, just refer me. And based on your profile, if it suits, and based on the availability or opening within that company, so you will be called and then you can apply for interviews. Apart from that, there are certain recruitment drives also that usually happens every week or daily, I would say. If I talk about Hyderabad, Bengaluru, so when I was posted over there, so I mean it was every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, there were recruitment drives for n number of companies. So there isn't any cap on the number of openings. There are n number of, I mean, there are lakhs and lakhs of job openings within this IT sector. At times, it could be plus minus for few months. There would be less for few months. There would be more job openings. But on an average, it's a good sector, and you can apply it anytime. It doesn't matter what is your passing year, you can apply, and whatever your background is, if be it like hotel management, aviation, or you are doing business. But if you want to get into this IT field, you just need to know coding. Good coding skills you should be having, like C, C++, Java, Python, PHP, .NET, Angular JS, and then you are very well welcome into this IT sector. Then next option is there are certain job websites also like LinkedIn.com, Naukri.com, Monster India, Shine, Times Job, Indeed.com. I mean, so these are pretty good. So if you will log into these websites, create your account, and just type in the respective job field or technology in which you want to apply, and you will see numerous jobs. Coachings available, especially in Hyderabad and Bengaluru. So most of the graduates who do not get campus placements, so generally you can find them in Hyderabad or Bengaluru or Pune also, from where they start preparing for these recruitment drives. They get their hands dirty into coding skills, get their skills brushed up in terms of interviews, and then they participate into all of these walk-in drives. So basically, it's like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Pune, Chennai. These are considered as the major IT hubs. And then in the second segment, you have Delhi NCR, which means Gurgaon, Noida, and then Kolkata. There are few IT companies based out of Chandigarh and Lucknow as well. Few are at Indore and Nagpur also, but majorly it's Bengaluru and Hyderabad, Pune and Chennai. And if you might be aware, like If you're at Hyderabad, so it's like basically Amirpet or Maitrivanam area where you will find all the coachings that helps you in getting prepared for IT sector. It is not only for freshers but also for lateral joinees as well. Which means, let's say if someone is having 3 years, 4 years, 10 years of experience, and if they want to learn something new, so again they take help of these coaching institutes, which are readily available, be it offline or online. Some of the basic skills for IT field, for especially for a fresher, is like spoken English, average communication skills, programming knowledge on any coding language like C, C++, Java, Python, PHP. So these all actually helps. Also, I mean, the interviewer actually sees, especially for fresher, is like your approach, the logic that you're trying to apply. So, and apart from this, we have Google. So you can just type in anything. There are n number of websites which are very well helpful, um, so that you can learn about all these technologies, or YouTube. So there are too many options in this field. So if I talk about salaries, they are pretty attractive. There isn't any limit or bar. It all depends on your experience, technology in which you are working, organization, number of job changes you have done in the past or switch you have made. Whereas a fresher generally gets 1.5 lakhs to 4 lakhs per annum initially on an average. There isn't any hard and fast rule, but on an average in general, I'm telling. But it again depends on the college. If you are from premium institutes like IIT, triple IITs, and IITs, so it goes like from 5 or 6 lakhs to 11, 12 lakhs also, or even more than that. If you are from, tier 2 colleges or tier 3 colleges, it depends. So the college from where you are coming from and all those things matter. So I think, yeah, I feel this might be helpful for you all, especially for those guys who are planning to come into this IT field or join this IT sector, or if you are doing your engineering or BBA or MCAs and you are thinking like, what next? What if there is no campus placement for me? So what should I be doing? So for all these things, I think this might be helpful. So I'll be coming up with more into this. So stay tuned.